Hey guys, I'm Jaclyn St James and welcome to another Elegance and Sophistication Halloween edition. Today we are going to be talking about your favorite Halloween movie of all time. Last month I put a poll together online on my Facebook page and my website page, and your top 10 movies are the ones listed here that you guys chose. So this is all on you. So let's get started. Starting with number 10. This movie uses a staple of effective scares, based on true events whether you believe the Lutz family or not. This is about a haunted Long Island home. It's hard not to jump at the bumps in the night. The lesson here, never move into a house where a murder occurred. We know it seems like common sense, right? But yet, they still do. The Amityville Horror from 1979 stars the sexy James Brolin and Margot Kidder, two newlyweds ready to start their dream life together in a new home. But what if that home has a history and wants you to get out? Don't worry about him, ma'am. Cujo won't hurt him. Ha! Rabies, rabies, rabies. This ain't Old Yeller we're talking about here. Anyone who has a slight fear of dogs will not want to watch this one alone. This film is based on another Stephen King book and makes a compelling argument for tighter leash laws. This movie made me scared of big dogs and the Ford Pinto. Starring Dee Wallace, the mom from E.T. as Donna, and Donna Pintaro, Jonathan Bauer from Who's the Boss as Tad, when he was a baby, of course. Check out this killer dog movie tonight. Look at me, Damien. It's all for you. The Omen, 1976. Forget all the movies about bad luck befalling the cast and crew during the movie's production. This Gregory Peck-helm thriller is scary enough as merely a film. Remember, never secretly adopt someone else's child without meeting the kid's parents first, or at least seeing a picture. If creepy children scare you, like they do me, then young Damien will be sure to burrow a hole in your brain and come out in your nightmares. Oh, and by the way, if decapitation scenes get your blood pumping, this one has one of the all-time greatest. Well, every time I step into the ocean, I still to this day can hear that tune. Because in this movie, you are definitely gonna need a bigger boat. Jaws 1975, and I'm going to throw in there Jaws 2 also because I like that one better. But be honest, every time you hear news reports of great white sightings off the coast of Cape Cod, you think of Jaws, right? And actually, this film was filmed on Martha's Vineyard. Due to this movie, millions of people think twice anytime they set foot into the ocean. And if you're like me and ever freaked out when something has brushed against your leg in the water, you can thank Steven Spielberg for this one. In this movie, she just goes a little mad sometimes. We all go a little mad sometimes. With the 1960s version of Psycho. There's a reason women are wary of guys with mommy issues. And that reason is definitely this movie. Thank you, Norman Bates. Janet Leigh's iconic shower scene has become imprinted on the American psyche due to this Alfred Hitchcock classic. Kind of makes you think twice about showering alone now, doesn't it? I see dead people. Do you? Well, watch this movie, and you will. The Sixth Sense, 1999, starring Bruce Willis. There's something very unnerving about being put in the shoes of a young child who experiences the supernatural. It's even scarier when said child is played as effectively as young Haley Joel Osment. And the scene where he encounters the little girl scared the shit out of me. For number 4, in this movie, sometimes dead is better. Pet Sematary from 1989. Do you remember that heartbreaking day during your childhood when your beloved pet died? Remember how you would have done anything in the world to bring that pet back, even if it was just for a day? Remember how crushing it was to realize that such fantasies of reunion were never going to happen? If so, here's a good movie to help you get over that. It's another film based on Stephen King, his book, and the author does make an appearance as the preacher. For number 3, here's Johnny. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy in The Shining from 1980. From your little boy seeing horrific visions to your well-adjusted husband slowly descending into madness and becoming a homicidal maniac, there's plenty to frighten you in this classic, another Stephen King-inspired thriller. And number 2, and who cannot forget that beautiful blonde child Carol Ann?
They're here.
Oh yes, they are, in Poltergeist, 1982. From white noise on the TV to empty in-ground swimming pools to ancient Indian burial grounds, the scares are just almost too numerous to count. This movie would make anyone want to know as much as humanly possible about the history of a house before buying it. It's the ultimate haunted house movie. And number 1, the number 1 Halloween movie, my favorite, Halloween. It's when you realize that what was living behind those boys' eyes were purely and simply evil. Yes, the boogeyman has come to kill in this fictitious Illinois city of Haddonfield. Halloween 1978. Yes, it isn't just that Michael Myers is a homicidal maniac. He's a homicidal maniac who wears a mask that carries an expression of pure blankness, as if killing is boring. This film set the standard for all supernatural serial killer films to follow, and it stars a very young Jamie Lee Curtis. I like to watch 1, 2, and then H2O. You can always go back to 4 and 5, but I recommend skipping 3 and 6 just because, well, 3 had nothing to do with the plot of all the others, and 6 was just stupid. And I'm sorry to say, but there is nothing like a true John Carpenter and Mustafa Akkad film. I'd pass on Rob Zombie's versions, though. I don't know. They just kind of ruined Michael Myers for me. Anyway, so there you have it, your top 10 movies to watch on Halloween. I start my season early so I can watch horror, and more horror to set the mood before the big day. So watch these alone, if you dare. Just make sure all the lights are off and doors are locked before you sit behind that big bowl of popcorn. And just pray that tonight isn't the night that you meet the boogeyman.